Hi everyone, this is Tuplex, and welcome back. Nice to be with you again after about 2 years, almost 2 years, actually a little bit more than 2 years to the day since I made my last video. I took some time off to focus on some other personal and career projects. I enjoyed the time, made good use of it, but I have been kind of itching to get back into making gaming videos. And lately I've really been enjoying Satisfactory, so I thought I would get back into it by doing a series on Satisfactory. I'm going to start a brand new game here. No mods. Let me show you my gameplay settings real quick. I did make a few changes from default. I have creature hostility set to retaliate, so they only attack if I attack them first. I don't want to get knocked off a cliff while I'm trying to build something. That's not my idea of a good time. So, yeah, so they will fight back, but they're not going to attack us. And I changed inventory to keep everything so that if I die, when I respawn, I'll have all my items. I don't have to go look for my body or do anything weird like that. And everything else, I think, is pretty much default. No mods or anything. So if you're following along, you'll be able to get all the achievements with these settings, if that's something that you're after. I still have a few achievements I haven't gotten yet, so maybe I'll get them in this playthrough. So let's go for a new game. I am going to go with Rocky Desert as my starting area. Grassy Fields is a good starting area too. But if you go to Satisfactory Calculator, it's Satisfactory Calculator satisfactory-calculator.com. What I'm doing here is I'm showing all the resource nodes on the entire map, and these blue circles are the starting zones, right? So this is the grassland. This is the Rocky Desert. This is Northern Forest, and this is the other one. I forget what the other one's called. And the reason I like Rocky Desert is because if you take a look, let me turn this off for a second. We've got tons and tons of iron, lots of normal iron nodes. There's even some pure iron nodes fairly close by. Yeah, here's some more. Those are outside the starting area technically, but they're not too far. We have some bauxite for when it's time to make aluminum. That's close by. There's oil close by. There's coal close by in a couple different spots. Quartz, basically all the stuff that we're going to need to progress through a majority of the game is right here in this part of the map. And we're also close to water. This whole shoreline here goes right down to the edge of the water. So it makes it easy to extract water for power and stuff like that. So there are places on the map that have perhaps more resources or more pure nodes or whatever, but like over here, for example. But it's hard to get to water here. This is all cliff, as far as I know. I actually haven't gone up in that part of the map too often. So yeah, so I'm going to use that area. Let me get back into the game here. And I'm going to call this Tuplex Returns. And we're going to go with the intro. I'm going to play this game as if you all have not played it yourselves. So that means I'll explain everything in the beginning. But it does take a good number of hours to complete a game, so towards the end, I
Separation from main
probably will
complete.
not show everything.
Group A delivered to Calistian region.
I will explain everything.
All pioneers functional, initiating dispersion.
But if it takes me 2 hours to build something, I probably won't make a 2-hour video of me building
Pioneer.
it, right?
I
I'll start
am
building
Ada,
it,
your
I'll talk
personal
about it,
instance of the artificial
and then we'll cut to
directory
the
and
end.
assistant.
Just to set expectations.
Welcome to the Fix-It Incorporated Save the Day program. A Fix-It Pioneer has 3 core assignments.
But for the first part of the game,
Construct.
I'll go through everything. I'll explain
Pioneers must
everything.
follow Fix-It guidelines
So that if you
and
never played,
instructions when
hopefully this will
constructing
be
any
a good
building.
start for you. That being
Fix-It
said, I
selected
would like to
planets
skip
are
past
rich
this
with
part.
resources suitable for direct use or further investigation.
There's no way to do
Stay
it.
within your designated. And that is why the world is counting on
Say what?
pioneers like you. Fix-It. Short-term solutions to long-term problems.
Seems like we got some interference there.
Initiating planetfall.
All right, so we're going to be lovingly
Atmospheric entry in 3.
deposited
2,
on the
1.
planet below.
Beginning arrow assist.
Off we go.
Drag within acceptable parameters.
Good. Looks like it's getting warm out there.
Descent phase begun. Decelerating. Deploying parachute. Deploying backup parachute. Skipping parachute.
Okay.
Landing phase begun. Activating retro propulsion.
I guess we didn't need those parachutes. Good thing. So the first part of the game takes you through a tutorial, which I'll go through.
Touchdown. Planetfall complete. Drop pod integrity nominal. Omni situational exploration suit nominal. Pioneer. Acceptable.
Okay, I'm acceptable. All right, that's my little
Congratulations.
thingamajig.
You are the 3rd in your region to survive planetfall. Welcome to Massage 2, ABB, in the binary system
How many
of
didn't
Occupa.
survive? That's what I want to know.
Loading objective-based introduction. Begin onboarding.
All right.
First contact safety tool supplied due to presence of alien megafauna. Adhere to Fix-It procedure and equip the Fix-It Inc. Xeno Zapper before leaving the drop zone.
Okay, there's my weapon.
Next objective. Dismantle the drop pod. Fix-It Incorporated is cost-effective and efficient. We do not waste. The drop pod will be recycled to construct the first stage of the habitat and utility base, often referred to as the hub.
Okay. So,
Next objective.
I'm not going to set up
Use
the hub
resource
right
scanner
here.
to find and collect additional iron to be able to build the hub. If you cannot find iron, be assured scans of the planet have revealed sufficient iron sources.
Okay, so let me tell you where we are. We are in this area over here, but I actually want to set up my starter base in this area over here. So I'm just going to run west for a little bit to get there. And the reason for that is there's some really nice iron nodes over here, and they're really close to some nice coal nodes as well. So I'm going to save this area for later on when we make steel. So instead, yeah, like I said, we'll just we'll head west a bit, and I'm just going to pick up sticks and leaves on the way because we're going to need those for fuel. In the early game, that's really about all you have for fuel is burning things. And then we'll pick up items of interest on the way, such as this Caterium ore. There's a lot of discovery going on in the early part of the game.
Collected. This metallic element is showing properties similar to those in Group 11 on the periodic table, such as high conductivity and malleability. Store this potential resource for later use.
Okay. I'm going to stab this guy in the butt. Didn't even leave him a shred of dignity.
Samples of unknown alien species acquired. Their weaponized plasma is most
Okay,
likely
we want that
stored as a
slug,
stable
too.
chemical substance in an organ close to their mouth, and only turns volatile when exposed to one of the chemical elements in the air.
I think there
Preserve the remains
might
for
be
later study.
something else that we want to pick up over there, too. Yeah. There's
This
a...
semi-slug species seems to persist entirely through absorbing and storing energy.
Okay, it's a little behind. I might skip some of the dialogue, guys. just to keep things moving. But I do want to go over here. We can see that there's another drop pod. I'm assuming this is from one of the pilots that didn't survive. And there are hundreds of these all over the map. Now, the good thing about these are that you can usually find some valuable materials laying around. In fact, some of these materials are ones that I can't even produce yet. So it's always a good idea to, anytime you see one of these drop pods, go investigate. And then in this portion, you can open it up. Now here it's saying it wants 21 rotors. Now, thankfully, there were rotors here that I picked up. Okay, but most drop pods have a requirement of some kind to open up, either materials or sometimes they need electricity. There are a few that don't need anything, but most of them will have a requirement of some kind. And then we're going to grab that hard drive out of there. And that'll come in very handy later on.
Damaged hard drive successfully acquired. All pioneers are contractually obliged to preserve and secure any recovered hard drives for future analysis, which may result in benefits to the Fix-It mission. Speculation as to why there are crashed freighters in your Fix-It designated zone is discouraged as specified in your contract.
Okay. Right, so I'm trying to collect
samples of new alien species acquired. And a thickly plated preserve the.
I'm trying to collect the remains of at least every type of animal on my way over here, because that will unlock. That'll unlock some more technology later. Okay. Hope I'm not spoiling things too much. But we can see over here, if we scan, you press V, and we can scan for iron. We can see we have lots and lots of iron over here. So this is where I want to set up our home base. So we can see we have a normal iron node there. Normal nodes will give you 60 per minute with a Mark 1 miner. And I've got 3 of them here. There we go. Ouch.
Samples of unknown alien species acquired. It is unclear where on the flora or fauna spectrum it lies, but initial data suggests this might preserve.
Okay. Now, when you take damage, you can take some of these agricultural items that you pick up, and if you equip them, you can press the mouse button to consume those, and those will restore some of your health. Just in case you're wondering. Okay. So, let's set up the... Oh, okay. No, I already did that. I already scanned for nodes. Okay. Gather iron ore. I guess it wants me to get some of it. There we go.
Next objective. Use the build gun to construct the hub. Iron is a base component necessary for all near-future progress, so ensure you build the hub close to iron sources. Fix-It does not pay by the kilometer.
But anyway, here's the hub.
Hub foundation.
This is our home base.
The hub terminal and crafting bench are only the humble
It will
beginnings
be our
of a
home base
successful
after we
Fix-It
build it up a
pioneer,
bit.
but essential for the next steps of onboarding. Once finished, the hub will function as your base of operation.
Okay. So in the tutorial, you basically are going through tier 0. Okay, and there's a progressive set of steps that you follow. Right, so the first milestone is upgrade 1. We can complete this by providing 10 iron rods. And we just happen to have those already. So let's upgrade. And you can see that our
Hub
structure
upgrade
is
1, storage
somewhat
and
improved.
frame completed. Equipment like the portable miner can now be made in the workshop.
Now we have a little storage thing.
Congratulations on completing your first milestone, the first of many providing access to new recipes and technologies for the Fix-It mission.
Okay.
Next objective, complete hub.
So I'm just gonna put in storage some of the things that I'm not gonna need anytime soon. And we'll see what the next upgrade is. So for this one, we need 20 iron rods and 10 iron plates. Oh, and yeah, by the way, let's take a look. So what we've unlocked by doing that first upgrade, in terms of things that we can build, one of those things is the equipment workshop. So let's put down the equipment workshop, and I'm going to put it right in front. Oh, you know what? This is actually the front of the hub. Let me turn this hub around. I want that to be oriented the other way because of reasons. Okay. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, so let's put this stuff in there. We'll come back to those things later. We don't need them right now, and we don't have a lot of inventory space. All right. Oh, yeah, the equipment workshop. Let's put one of these down. Okay, and we also have a crafting bench. So in the crafting bench, you can handcraft things, like in this case, iron ingots. So almost everything in the game can be handcrafted. There are some special items that you can't make by hand. You have to make them in a machine, which we'll see later. But we have the crafting bench there, and then here in the equipment workshop, we can make things like portable miners, for example. Let's make a couple of those. We'll want some of those, and as you unlock more and more things, you can build more and more stuff there in the workshop. All right, so let's just do the next upgrade, and now we have a roof.
Hub upgrade 2, power and shell, completed.
Ooh,
the smelter
we
can
have a
turn raw
generator.
ore such as copper and iron into ingots, and the biomass burner generates power when fueled. Fun fact, most of the native flora and fauna is compatible with Fix-It technology. Fueling the biomass burner with inappropriate materials will result in deductions or even cancellation of your yearly bonus.
Uh-oh.
Next objective, complete hub upgrade 3.
Okay. All right, now I do not have what we need for hub upgrade 3 because we need to make some wire, and for that we need copper. All right, so let's scan for copper. And there's some over there. All right, like I said, there's a lot of stuff close by. It's a nice area to start in. Yeah, so as I was saying earlier, as we progress through the game, I may not show every single thing that I do, but give me feedback, as we go through the series, and if you want to see more or you want to see less, just let me know. I can make adjustments.
Potential edible collected. Reminder that look and smell alone
I just don't
do
want the
not
series to
provide
take a year to
sufficient data
finish,
to determine exact risk of consumption. Just because it looks like you can eat it does not mean it won't eat you. Store this potential resource for later use.
Okay. Let me kill this
Potential
one too.
edible collected. Eating it and surviving does not count as a valid field test and does not generate enough data. Store.
Okay, we already heard that one. Yeah, so we'll get some copper. And let me see. Okay. Yeah, we don't have access to mining drills yet, so we'll have to mine with the portable miner. And basically all you do is you just pop it there onto the node, and it'll mine up to 1 stack of ore. The animation is really cool. I think they do a great job with all these little things in the game. Right, so you can just come and empty it out whenever you need more stuff. So I've already got enough stuff to make the wire that we need for the next unlock, so let's just go ahead and get that done. Incidentally, you may have seen me doing this. This is kind of a quick way around the map. What I'm doing is I'm pressing C. Like C is the crouch button, but if you press it while you're running, you'll slide. But if you slide and then jump, it kind of propels you forward like this. So it's actually a pretty quick way to move around once you get the hang of it. So you'll probably see me doing that quite a bit. Oh, okay. Yeah, we have to make copper wire. So first let's make some ingot. We need 20 copper wire. So the ingots are mostly a 1-to-1 ratio between the ore and the ingot, right? So 1 ore gives us 1 ingot, as you can see there. Wires, 1 ingot gives us 2 wires. Okay, so with this small amount of copper that we have here, we can easily get the wire that we need to get to the next stage here. And I still have enough rods and plates.
Hub Upgrade 3, Interior Furnishing, completed. The constructor can produce simple parts, and power poles allow for the expansion
It's
of the power
misaligned.
grid.
Unacceptable.
When you make the inevitable mistake, Fix-It's dismantling feature is
There we go.
designed to salvage all resources used during construction, in line with our zero waste policy. We understand that Fix-It pioneers are only human and thus prone to error. Next objective, complete Hub Upgrade 4.
Okay. So, we need to start making more stuff more quickly. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set up 2 smelters. Okay. And we'll just place them here on the ground. Is that lined up? I'm trying to line them up, but the ground is uneven, so it's a little difficult. And I'll use one to make iron ingots, and I will use one to make copper ingots. Okay. So to power those, we need a couple things. We need power pole, but for that I need concrete, and for concrete I need limestone. So, actually, let me make... Oh, I can't even make more miners. All right. Where's the closest limestone? Here's one, 200 meters away. Let's go get that. I need concrete so I can make power poles in order to get everything connected. Okay. All right. That's a normal limestone node, so that'll give us 60 a minute. Yeah, concrete is very useful in this game. We'll end up making quite a bit of it. All right. Yeah, so let me make some concrete. And then I can connect the power to these machines. And we can start producing stuff automatically. Okay, so I'll put a power pole here. I'll connect that to a wire. And put the other power pole over here where the generator is. And then I'll hook that up to the generator. And then we'll hook each machine up to the wires as well. Okay. Now, we just have to put fuel in the generator. And right now, all we can put in there are leaves or wood. Eventually, we'll get more efficient fuel sources, but for now, we throw that in. We can see that consumes 80 a minute. Okay, so these leaves are not going to last very long at all. We'll grab the iron ore out of there. And we'll put that in there. Okay, now we're automatically making ingots. And then the other thing that we can do is we can put constructors in front. For now, I'll just put... Oh. Okay. I can't make conveyors yet, can I? All right. Yeah, so let's just do another... Oh, I can't. All right, we'll come back to that. Anyway, let's make some... let's make some plates. Okay, yeah, so we need 3 ingots to make 2 plates. So we're still a bit short. And we can collect that copper as well. Okay, we almost have enough plates. We don't need any wire. Actually, we don't need any cable either, so I'll just hold on to my copper for now. Yeah, let's go get some of that limestone. Anyway, so concrete. And what did I need for the power pole? Oh, I needed iron rods. Okay. Well, let me get the plates that I need first, and then we'll make some more rods. Just let that run for a while. All right. So we'll make a few more iron plates. I'll just make all the iron plates with the ingots that we have left here. Okay. And now I think we're all set.
Hub upgrade 4, landing platform and utilities completed. Conveyor belts
Okay.
connect the output of one building to the input of another and transport resources.
Okay, now we have belts.
Due to past incidents, I have been asked to issue a clarification. Portable miners, obviously,
That's
do
cool.
not have a connection for conveyor belts. There is nothing to suggest, visually or functionally, that they can be connected to portable miners. If this is something you struggle with, do not worry. Fixit has alternative uses for all their pioneers. Next objective, complete hub upgrade 5.
There. Now we can make rods automatically. Okay. And I'm gonna handcraft some more stuff. Sorry. All right. Yeah, and this is where we unlock the miner and such. All right, so let's make some rods with the ingots that I've got now. And I will use that to make another portable miner that I can put on the limestone. Okay, and I'll keep the rest for now. So early game, there's necessarily a lot of running around. Oh, here's a little trick. If you're crouched, you can creep up on these insect things and they won't open up. I never remember to do that though, so. Grab some more of these. That's poisonous gas up there. You want to avoid that if you can. All right, yeah, so we're going to need 20 concrete this time, which is, what, about 60 limestone, I think? I think it's 3 to 1. Something like that. Might as well help. Okay, that should be enough. And then we'll come back for a refill later. You can't do the slide thing uphill. Okay, so concrete. There we go. And now we just need rods. Okay, there's 41 of them. And I'll take the rest of these ingots and I'll help it along. Early on, handcrafting is a lot faster than the machines are, unfortunately. Okay, that gives us enough of that, and I'll make a few more plates. Okay, I think we're good now. Let's unlock that.
Hub Upgrade 5, Power Expansion, completed. The miner, unlike portable miners, can be connected to conveyor belts and requires power to function. Caution: as you expand, the energy demand of your production may exceed the capacity of your power grid.
Good
The
point.
onboarding program was established because Fix-It pioneers often experience memory issues after planetfall. If you are experiencing nosebleeds, nausea, existentialism, or an itchy scalp, there is no need for concern. This should pass within 5 to 7 workdays. Next objective: complete Hub Upgrade 6.
Okay, so now we have 2 generators. So we can have leaves in one, and here, I think what I'll do is I'll split this wood into 2 stacks. And we'll just put the wood in there. The wood only burns at 12 a minute. And it'll burn slower than that for us because we're not using full capacity. All right. I'm missing concrete. Oh, brother. All right. So now things are going to start getting a little bit better. I'm going to bring that closer. I better leave that for now. Okay. Oh, for crying out loud. Yeah, I'm just going to pick up all this stuff for now. We'll start rebuilding some of it. Okay. And then set that to iron. There we go. And now let's put a constructor in front of that. And we'll make this do iron plate for us. Okay. So let's take a look at this for a moment. So you'll see iron plate uses 30 ingots per minute and makes 20 plates a minute. All right, so it's 3 ingots into 2 plates. The miner makes 60 ore a minute. However, our smelter only consumes 30, right? So right now the miner is only going to run half the time because it'll eventually back up. And this consumes 30 and it puts out 30 ingots a minute. We're consuming 30 ingots a minute. So actually I'm going to keep those ingots because I can use those to make rods while this is producing plates. And then the other nice thing that we can do is we can throw a storage container in front of it. Oops. Sorry, I'm trying to keep things in a straight line as much as possible. And then it will flow into the container. And this way the production won't back up and stop. Okay, now that does consume a bit of power. We're using 13 megawatts. We have a capacity of 40 with those 2 generators. Just FYI. All right, so let's see what we have here. All right, I'm going to need... Oh, I shouldn't have put it all in there. Oh, well. Yeah, so we're going to need a lot more wire. And we're going to need more concrete. So I think for this last phase, we'll let that run for a bit, and then we can actually set up another smelter next to it, also making iron, and we can take some of this ore that backs up in there and we can throw that in there. Okay, so now I have some concrete, so I can insert another power pole here. So I get that connected. You can probably tell that you have a limited number of power connections on each power pole, so that's why we do that. Let's see if we have more ore available. Yeah. Alright, so I'll throw all this in there. That'll make iron ingots while I run over to collect some copper ore. And we've already got 70-something plates. So as soon as we get through phase 0, we'll get phase 1 unlocked, and then we can start to go after some automation. And as you can see, anytime I go anywhere, I just pick up fuel along the way. That way I don't have to necessarily make special trips. If you hover over a plant and you press the E key and hold it down, then you can just run, and anytime your cursor touches something that's able to be picked up, it'll pick it up. So that makes collecting a lot easier. Okay, so I'll take that, and then let's change this over to copper for a moment. So we can make copper ingots for my wires. Alright, so we have enough plates. We have enough concrete. We need iron rods. I'll just use all of these ingots to make rods, so we have some extras. Okay, and then the last thing we need is the wire. So let's just get started crafting the wire. While we're waiting for that, I will make a couple more drills. Well, I guess I can make one more drill. Let's grab some more plate. I'll make, I don't know, 4 more, let's say. So next time we go over there to pick up copper or go to pick up more limestone, I can throw down some more drills. And once we have enough plates, we can start to belt everything over into the same area, so that we don't have to always run across the map to pick things up. All right, and I think this is the final unlock for the hub.
Hub upgrade 6. Landing platform
This part's
hydraulics
cool.
completed. Freighter landing initialized. Congratulations, you have completed onboarding and achieved the absolute minimum skill level required of a Fix-It pioneer. Fix-It looks forward to your future achievements, because a future with Fix-It is a future with you. Tier 1 and 2 milestones are now available in the hub, and biomass burners can now be built individually. Your first official objective is to initiate project assembly by building the space elevator. This objective will take a significant amount of resources, so Fix-It recommends getting to work.
Yeah, thanks for your recommendation. Okay, yeah, so from this point forward, anytime you unlock a milestone, you load up the materials, and then the materials get launched into space with this thing, and then you have to wait for it to come back before you can go to the next one. Just FYI. All right, so now we have Tier 1 and Tier 2 available. The first thing that I want to do in Tier 1 is unlock logistics. Mainly because that's going to give us conveyor splitters. And so I'll set that as my next milestone. I'm not going to start feeding it material yet because we've got some work to do. And then the other thing that we have access to now is we can make biomass with our leaves and wood. And biomass is much more efficient than wood or leaves are. So from here on out, we're going to convert all of our leaves and wood into biomass first. Because we get a lot more energy out of it. So biomass is 180 megajoules each versus wood, which is 100, and leaves are 15. Right, so it's much more efficient than any other method. So I'll take the wood out, and then I'll just load these up with stacks of biomass. So you can see that those only consume less than 7 per minute. And that's if we're using all the power. Right now we're using less than half of our available power production right now. So we have plenty of capacity. All right, so I'll take that copper ore and let's set up another one of these machines. Put that around. And let's have this make wire. We'll just get that running for now. How we doing on plates? All right, so we're starting to collect some plates. All right. So now that that's done, our next goal is to start automating the production of all these parts that we need to unlock things. Okay, so I've got iron plate already. We'll want to do rods next. We'll want to do copper. So let's get started on that. Over here, I see something that I want to pick up, which is this interesting looking purple sphere. These are quite valuable, so you want to grab these anytime you come across one.
The astrobiologist Dr. D.M. Mercer was the first to recognize the presence and probable nature of these alien artifacts. These chain-melted state spheres are named in his honor. Each sphere emits a unique signal and will require study to determine local application, store it for later use.
Okay. Yeah, so let's start over here. Let's get rod production running alongside the iron plates. How are we doing here? That'll be done in a few. All right, so I'm going to set up another iron smelter next to the first one. And we'll have to continue to hand feed this for now. And I'll change this recipe over to iron rods. And we'll throw in another container. Okay. And then we just have to keep that fed with iron ore, which won't be a problem. We'll just have to manually drop in a stack from time to time to keep this running. Now the iron rods use 15 ingots a minute, so again, we got a machine that's has extra capacity. It's not going to run all the time. It only consumes electricity when it's actually running. Okay. And once we get splitters, we can start to take care of things like that. Now the other option would be to put another miner, an electric miner over here and feed that. But the miners use 5 megawatts. They use a decent amount of electricity. So I don't want to put down too many right now until we have a better infrastructure. Okay, so we've got that making. Let's go over and let's get our copper production automated. I'll just set it up so it's running over where the copper is. And later on, when we have a lot more iron, we can start building belts and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a bill of materials for the stuff that I need. So I'll need one miner to put on the copper node. I'll need a smelter, and I'll need a constructor. And I can see already that I have all the materials I need, so I'm good to go. Although I also will need some power poles. So let me add those onto the list as well. So I don't know if I have everything I need for power poles. Yeah, I'm going to need more concrete. So let's go over and grab some limestone. And once we get copper going, then we'll come and we'll do the same for the limestone. So we'll just set up, local production, but fully automated going into containers. So I'm just going to pick up that miner. We'll come back later and get that set up. And that way we'll be automatically producing all the stuff that we need for, unlocking some of these phase 1 technologies or step 1 technologies, whatever they're called. And that way we can just focus on doing some exploration and planning and figuring out how we're going to proceed through the rest of the game. All right. Yeah, so we're over here. The power poles can go a pretty good distance, as you can see. So I don't think we'll need more than just a couple of them. Yeah. Okay, and so we'll pick that up. And then we'll slap a miner on here. Let's see. There we go. What? Oh, crud. Okay, I'm missing concrete. So if you ever need a crafting bench and you're away from the hub, you can build a small one. Right? I forgot to make the concrete, so let's do that. That's why I'm short. Okay. Oops. Let me deconstruct it. When you deconstruct things in this game, you get 100% of your materials back. So everything is fully recyclable. So don't worry about taking things apart and putting them back together again. All right. So I'll run the smelter at 90 degrees here since there's rocks and things in the way. All right. And I'm going to press the R key. You can see that there's 2 modes for these belts. Let me get elevated so you can see it a little bit better. All right, so first, that's default mode. And that's straight mode. So you can see that straight mode will put everything in 90-degree turns. I don't know. Whereas default will try to go in a straight line. So most of the time I use straight mode. All right, so get that connected. Let's get that connected. And we're going to make this do copper for us. Let's put that in there so I can get rid of that. And then we'll throw one constructor. Oh, don't tell me I'm out of plates. Ah, sorry. Conveyor belt is too steep. Oh, okay. Yeah, sometimes when you're in straight mode, it doesn't like it if you have strange angles. So if that's the case, you could try going back to default mode. And like in this case, it works. In case you ever have that issue. Okay. So this little production line is another demonstration of inefficiency. I can't quite get this to line up. If you hold down control when you're placing your buildings, yeah, there you go. It'll try to snap things in a line. Sometimes it doesn't work if the terrain is uneven. Okay, now let's connect that to power. Let's check our power consumption again. So now we're consuming 34 megawatts and we have 40 available. So before we start making concrete, we're probably going to need more power. So this is giving us 30 ingots a minute. This is consuming 15, right? So again, very inefficient in terms of our power consumption and so forth. But further down the line, we will have the ability to adjust the speed of the machines. We can overclock or underclock them, and that way you can get all your ratios to be perfect. And when you underclock a machine, it uses less power. When you overclock it, it uses more power, and so on. So we'll see all that in a little bit. Okay, first let me go. This is where you can customize your character. Right? I don't care about that. I just want to make that exclamation thingy go away. All right, I need more rods. Looks like I got plenty of iron, but I'm gonna hold on to it until we have everything that we need. Looks like we need more iron ore for this machine. Keep those rods coming. Okay, and now, oh, actually, let's refill our fuel. I want to make sure we don't interrupt our production. Yeah, and so wood makes a lot of biomass. A lot of biomass. 4 wood gives you 20 biomass, so that's like 1 to 5. And so when you look at the amount of energy that you create for free, when you go from 100 megajoules to 5 times 180 megajoules, which is what, 900? So you increase the amount of electricity you get by a factor of 9 by turning wood into biomass. Okay. Now I have a few stacks of biomass that I'm not using, so I'm just going to throw that in a chest. I'll put that in there. And again, some of the stuff that I don't need right away, I'll just throw in that chest so I have some inventory available. Okay, so more power. To add more power, we can make additional biomass burners. And we'll do that right now. The 2 burners that come on your machine, or on your hub, they have a capacity of 20 megawatts each, and you have to feed them by hand. The standalone version, as you can see, has a couple unique advantages. Number 1, it produces more power. It produces 30 megawatts. Now, it also consumes fuel more quickly, too, so you're not really getting anything for free, but it does make more power. And it also has, it also gives you the ability to feed it through a belt, which we will take advantage of later on. So let's just get another connection here. We'll hook that up, and then we'll get one of these additional stacks of biomass that I've got. Load that up. Okay, and now we have 70 megawatts of capacity. And we're going to drag a power line over here to where the limestone is. And we'll start to automate our concrete production. Which will be a bit of a relief. Okay, so one miner. And for now, I guess it's just going to be like one miner and one machine. I'm lining everything up to the cardinal directions, as you can see here, because that's eventually that's how I'm going to have the base organized. So I like to just start by doing it that way. All right. So one machine making concrete requires 45 per minute. The miner will give us 60 a minute. So, again, not quite a perfect ratio, but it's better than having to make it all by hand, for sure. And let's throw a container in front to collect it. There's a lot of fuel over here under this tree, if I can grab it. Okay, have you started yet? There we go. Okay, so we're just going to let that run for a bit, and then we'll come back and empty the container when we have time. We're in need for concrete. Let's get rid of these guys. Okay, and then we'll go see how much wire we've got available. I'm going to get rid of these power poles that are on my to-do list. So if you just open up any dialog box, then you'll have access to the to-do list. You can change it or remove things from it. But yeah, let's go get some copper. Hopefully we have a nice bunch of wire waiting for us there. And I can hear some shimmering. That thing is drawing our attention. We definitely want to get that too. Those are quite valuable and rare. All right, I have 229. So I'll take those ingots and we'll go. Actually, let's not go. Can I just put down another machine here? Yeah, I can. It's got some long legs. Alright, wire. Actually, I'm going to keep half of that. This way we can get some more production happening. And then I'll handcraft the rest of what we need, so we can get this milestone unlocked. Once we have the splitters, we'll be able to start making more efficient use of our machines, especially the drills and the smelters. All right, wire's pretty quick to make. All right, ready to launch.
Milestone reached. Conveyor belts can now merge, split, and lift to save space and enhance the productivity of your factory. Fixit encourages you to consider investing in verticality when it comes to factory logistics. If you feel stressed by this complexity, imagine yourself on the shore of a vast and calm ocean. Breathe in. Visualize all the people relying on you. The sea is made of billions of faces, each staring at you with hope and tears in their eyes. Breathe out. Feel refreshed and focused on your duties.
No pressure. All right, so now that that pod has left, you can see that there's a timer. So we can go ahead and select our next milestone, which is going to be field research, but we won't be able to put any ingredients in there until the pod comes back, which is fine. We need time to do more stuff in the meantime. Most notably, I want to start taking advantage of these splitters. All right, so I'm going to hover over a splitter. I'm going to press the 4 key, and that'll put it in number 4 on my hotbar. That's where I like it. I put the merger on 5, and I put the lift on 7. This is my, this is my system, whatever. All right, so first thing we can do is let us split the output of this miner. So in this case, I can put the splitter right on top of the belt. And do that. So the splitters split. Let me get up so we can see a little bit better. Okay. The splitters split from 1 into up to 3. And it just divides things evenly. So in this case, I'm splitting from 1 to 2, so it'll just alternate between sides, just like you would expect it to. If you have 3 belts connected, it'll alternate between the 3 outputs, just like you would expect it to. Okay, so now I am putting out 60 a minute, and 30 a minute is going into this machine, which is great, and 30 a minute is going into this machine, which also is great. Now, in this case, the rods only use 15 a minute, so that means I can also split that output. Unfortunately, there's a boulder right there, so I wonder... Yeah, I didn't leave myself enough room to put a splitter there. So, yeah, we'll just have to redo this little section here. All right, so let me put a splitter down. So when you look at the splitter, you can see that there's arrows showing where the input is and where the outputs are. All right, so just line up the input with where you want it to go. Oh, I need cable. Okay. Let me move that out of the way. Okay. Get that workshop out of the way. We're eventually going to rebuild all this stuff and move it to a better location, so don't worry about the mess right now. Right now I just want to get to the point that I don't have to keep running around to pick up stuff. Okay, so that's making rods. And then we'll put another machine over here. And this is also going to make rods. Now, why do we want 2 machines making rods? I need wire. Oh, and here, let's do a straight belt on that. There we go. We want 2 machines making rods because rods are the ingredient to make screws. So we'll have one machine throwing rods into a container, and then we'll have another machine putting rods into a screw constructor. Okay, so we got a decent amount of wire. Not enough for this milestone yet, but we'll get there. Ah, crud, I did it here too. Alright, so let's rebuild this. With a little bit more space. And we're going to build 2 constructors. to the other. It's kind of silly, but whatever. Okay, and we're going to split them. All right. Hey, you know what? How about we put the splitter where I want it? There. All right. And these are both going to make wire. So I'll put half in that one. I'll put half in this one. And this is where we can also use a merger. So the merger is the opposite of the splitter. It'll take 3 inputs and send them into a single output. Right, so we can go from that machine and then that machine. And send those out into our container. There we go. Okay, and I don't need any more copper ore than this, so I'm not gonna hook up any more copper miners right now. Although at some point we will want to split this off into 2 smelters instead of just 1. Right, so now we can see the merger work. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that these Mark 1 belts they can only move 60 items per minute. So that's just something you have to keep an eye on. So right now we're making 30 wire a minute here, 30 wire a minute there. So that means that this belt coming out of the merger is completely full. If we were to feed it any more production, it wouldn't be able to handle it all. Belts would just start to back up. But now we're making, this is going to last us a long time, just this little bit of wire production that we have there. Now, the other thing that we can do is we could add another constructor over for the concrete, because we can split off the concrete production. See, once you get this stuff automated, you start producing a lot more stuff, obviously. Okay, yeah, I needed power on this. There we go. Speaking of power, okay, we still have a little bit of capacity. So, okay, yeah, I need another constructor, but for that I need cable. So let's make some more cable. Make sure I keep my 300 wire that I need. And then some. As a matter of fact, let's just go ahead and put that in there. We'll put the plates in there. I'll hang on to the screws for now. Okay, and then we can throw another one of these in front. And for this, we're going to make screws. Now this takes 10 rods a minute. This is making 15 a minute, so this will back up somewhat. I'm not too worried about that right now. I just want to get it producing so that we don't have to keep handcrafting stuff. Okay. So now we're making screws. 40 a minute. So this will take, I don't know, 7 or 8 minutes to finish. Well, plus I already have a bunch, but in any case, you know the deal. We're making rods. And we're making plates. Okay, so we now have pretty much everything we need. Let's just go and let's put another constructor on the concrete so we can squeeze out a little bit more concrete production. I just need another reinforced iron plate. Those take screws and iron plates. These are, that's a resource that is pretty valuable early game because it's hard to make. You need a special machine to produce them. Like we haven't unlocked the machine yet that you need to make reinforced iron plates. We will eventually, but for now we haven't, so we have to handcraft them. But even when you have the assembler that you need to do it, it takes a long time. They're slow. I think one machine only makes 5 a minute or something like that. So those are a pretty valuable resource early on, which is why it's great to find them at crash sites, because you get a big handful of them for free, basically. All right, so I'm going to put this one there. We'll throw a splitter on that. Okay, set that to concrete. Right, so now each one of these machines will get, what is it? 30 a minute. Right, so these two machines will be running at 2/3 capacity, basically. Let me split that stack. Okay, and see if I can squeeze a merger in there. There we go. It's clipping a little bit, but I can live with it if you can. We'll clean all that up later. I normally don't like to build things so that they're clipping like that. But again, right now I'm just trying to rush through the really early part of the game, so we can eliminate some of the tedium. Okay, so we have only to wait for the screws to finish producing, and then we'll be able to unlock field research. And that's a topic that demands some discussion, so I think we'll save that for the next episode. So between now and then, I'll let this run a while. I'll probably do some exploration and collect sticks and leaves. I'm going to go look for more of those Mercer spheres and hard drives, things of that nature. Gather up some food and whatnot. And I advise you to do the same too. Like if you get to a point where you're waiting for some parts to produce, that's a great time to do exploring, because exploration is an important part of the game, as you'll find out as we progress. All those little rare items around the map unlock some very powerful technologies. They unlock alternate recipes. Like the hard drives, for example, will give you alternate recipes for items that can make your production much easier, more efficient. So yeah, but we'll get into that in the next episode. So until then, help me out with a like, since I've been away for a while. It'll probably help pick up some of the traffic to my channel once again. I won't bug you about it again. Yeah, and it's great to be back. I'll talk to you all soon. Take care.